we're kind of debating what it means to be a brand versus what it means to be a person, and whether or not they can be the same thing. And Kaylin's arguing, no, you can do both things at the same time, but they can never be the same thing. And you're saying, Bryson, I think, yes, you can.
Alrighty, what up, you guys? I'm Bryson Smith.
And I'm Javin, and this is Etcetera. You may
hold on to this.
You may have noticed something different.
We have a guest.
I'm sitting in the middle this time.
That too, actually.
That's an important. People care, and
They do,
I feel like I should address those strong feelings about my position on the couch.
Okay.
And one of those reasons is because we're going to have a heated discussion between Caitlin, our wonderful and beautiful guest, and Bryson, our wonderful and beautiful host.
How sweet.
So, Caitlin, tell us a story about how this fight started.
Wait.
Actually,
before we do that, I wanted, if you're new to the channel, we talk about controversial topics, media, anime, and a whole bunch of other stuff we want to talk about. Yeah. So if you like what you're hearing, definitely subscribe and support us, and we'd appreciate that.
Absolutely. And if you don't support us, then like and subscribe, comment.
That's supporting.
And tee us off.
All
Caitlin.
right. Well, hi, I'm Caitlin. Been on here
Caitlin.
before.
Yeah.
The difference is I'm blonde now.
She's blonde.
Oh, wow, you are.
I am, yeah.
Wow, I really did not notice.
Really
Shocking
good friends here
discovery.
on the podcast.
Absolutely. We love each other-ish. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about when you go from being a person and turn into a brand.
I don't know why they feel like this is going to be like super argumentative.
This is going to be a heated topic between Bryson and I.
They want me to get out of character. They want me to lose my temper.
It's more that Caitlin's going to be argumentative.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see how you defend yourself.
So everyone came over to my house. We like to host parties every now and then and get together. And so these two losers came over, and halfway through the night, a couple million drinks in, Bryson and I were in my kitchen, and we were discussing whether or not he is a person, since he's got such a large following on TikTok. And we covered the
Follow him on TikTok.
Yeah, follow him on TikTok if you haven't checked him out. He does amazing things. But we were debating on whether or not he's gone from a person, Bryson, on camera, to a brand, Bryson the brand.
Okay, and this was my argument. I was like, she said that I wasn't a human being. She said that I was just a brand. I was like, I'm literally the same person on the camera that I am off the camera.
With the caveat of being on camera.
What do you mean by that? I'm the same person.
Right.
And when she said this, people in my chat, because I were live, they were like, I can't believe she said that, Bryson.
He was live during this, by the way.
They were my followers, so I can see why they would defend me. But I was saying the same thing. I'm like,
she started this argument while he was live.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, why would she say that? Aren't these your friends?
I also had no clue you were live, by the way, and I was drunk.
Yeah, but when she said that I wasn't human, I was just a brand, I was like, what is she talking about? I'm the same person.
Absolutely.
And then everyone went in on her on my chat. I was like, yeah.
But you're not. So like.
But I am though. No. What are you saying?
So we'll get into that. So I guess we're gonna kick it off strong.
She's telling me about me.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Let's hear it.
The confidence, right? No, when you have the following, the backing that you have and that you possess on TikTok, you have gone from being Bryson to Bryson the brand. And even though you're marketing yourself and your true authentic self, you've literally gone from being an individual with the small content to your goal and your drive has been to garner a following, to garner support so that you can further do what you love and foster your career development in terms of entertainment and art, etc. Pun intended.
That's us, Bryson. That's amazing. Look at that.
But in doing so, you've created a really large following from yourself, and that in and of itself has taken you from Bryson the individual to Bryson the brand. So even though they're subscribing to you, your authentic self, you have packaged that in a nice little bag with a little bow, and you're selling it to people. You're selling yourself, and that becomes Bryson the brand, not Bryson the person.
But I would argue and say that, yes, I am Bryson the brand, but I'm still Bryson the person at the same time.
you can exist simultaneously. I would argue that the minute that camera goes on and you are talking with your following, you have transitioned from being, personable, like lounging in your PJs, doing whatever, to now
I would still do that though.
You absolutely, but you're doing it with the garner of getting the support from your followers. And your goal is to get those followers to subscribe, to like, and to continue to foster your ability to do what you love, which is the cosplay thing, right?
Okay. But I feel like it's all me. Like
But that's a product.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a brand, yet I'm still that same person though.
So to kind
Absolutely.
of concentrate this discussion into a bit of a formal topic, when does a person have to sacrifice aspects of their personhood for the sake of their brandhood? And I'm curious what you think about that.
That's
Bryson.
a great question. But I haven't sacrificed anything.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I've been being my authentic self since the beginning. I never felt like I wouldn't do things that aren't me. Like if I didn't feel like, this isn't me, I'm not going to do this. Like a sellout. I wouldn't say I'm a sellout. Like I wouldn't do anything that's against who I am or my morals or anything.
No, a sellout's a strong word because that is when you've sacrificed all of your.
Yeah.
I feel like
personhood.
that's kind of the category you're putting me in though.
No,
Kayla.
absolutely not. No,
what
what
it
I'm
seems
saying is,
like.
Bryson, before you had 100,000 or so many more followers on TikTok, before you even existed on TikTok, you weren't going live in my house.
Yeah, but now that I've gotten followers.
But now
it's like,
that you've
go
gotten
live.
followers, you have a brand you need to market and a brand you need to support, hence why you're going live. And you're consistent with how you're going live.
You should be consistent with anything you do though.
Absolutely. Especially if you're trying to grow your brand.
Exactly. First off, the reason why I even started the TikTok was because of this. All
That's true.
this is because of we started a YouTube channel. We want to grow a media presence. TikTok is the new thing. Let's start a TikTok. All of it was in support of this.
But it also isn't Etcetera, the podcast, the TikTok. It's Bryson, the TikTok.
That
Bryson,
is
the
true,
individual.
but the plan was I do have the podcast in the bio on
Yeah,
my TikTok. But the plan was to show different aspects of what we do, which is why I wanted Jabin to do his own TikTok as well. But this was supposed to be the center of it. It's like
do it.
because I'm not just I like to do so many more things. I like anime, we like movies, we like to write, and so it's like the goal is to show all the different aspects of what we like to do and connect them all together.
So you're saying that your priorities have always been the same.
Have always been the same.
So even though you're on, and you're kind of arguing, well, no, not necessarily. Your priorities have changed. For example, at a party, your priority would be to just socialize and have a good time. But now your priorities are socialize, have a good time, and go live to garner more of a following.
Not all
That's
the time.
definitely a change.
I don't have to go. I don't go live all the time. I'm out.
No, you
I just
don't.
happened to go live that particular time at Caitlin's.
Right, but that signifies somewhat of a priority change, right?
I would say it's not even a matter of your priorities shifting. I think your priorities are pretty consistent and have always stayed the same. I think you just have another element to your priorities now. Because if your TikTok has been created under the guise of you're going to garner more following for Etcetera the podcast and you want to grow Etcetera the podcast and you want to do that through a form of world building where you're like, look at me, I'm not just a podcast host, look at everything else I do. Sure. And you want people to like you because they're like, wow, Bryson isn't just, one dimensional, he's 4D, 5D. He's got all these different attributes to him.
No one has to like me. I guess honestly.
Oh no, but like that's the idea,
honestly,
right?
it's literally just a creative outlet for me, if I'm being honest. And I was literally just like talking to myself about this. Like,
Interesting.
people are gonna follow or like what they like, but I literally do it because I enjoy it. Like, I like doing this. I like doing the cosplay stuff. No one has to actually follow me, but people like me, so it's like if you like someone, if I like someone, I'm gonna follow them and support them. It's just like that. It's really just like an outlet.
You don't think there's a line though? I'm not saying you've crossed it or anything, but To kind of take some of the heat away from Bison, I would definitely say if his priorities haven't dramatically changed from his transition into being TikTok famous, then in reality he hasn't sacrificed anything, and therefore his personhood is authentic to his conveyance. So fuck you, Caitlin.
Never.
Wow. Jalen. Just went for it.
However,
all caps.
all caps. However, 3 exclamation doesn't matter. Anyway, wouldn't you say that there is a line though?
He hasn't sacrificed his personhood, but he's sacrificed the personhood of others.
Wow.
Wait, elaborate on that.
Okay, that was not where I was going, but I am
What do you mean?
super curious about this.
So here's a really great example. Whenever you're going live, you're videotaping yourself, and if you're in the vicinity of others, they are now live with you.
Right.
You've incorporated them in an enigma fashion to be a part of your brand. So when you go live at a party, for example, my house, and I was a part of that live stream, I myself am not on TikTok actively.
Right.
I myself am not, trying to garner support for any particular cause at this time.
Right.
Nor myself. I'm not trying to grow. I'm not trying to do anything crazy on social media. But when you go live and I'm a part of that live and you garner followers and support based off what I'm saying or in conjunction with what I'm saying or against what I'm saying, I become a part of that. So even though you are being your true authentic self, maybe that makes the other people around you feel like they can't be.
But isn't that your prerogative? Like, isn't that on you to
It could be.
decide whether or not you want to be authentic?
But
isn't that same for any social interaction?
Absolutely, but it comes from the exterior force of Bryson the brand.
Oh, I see.
Wait.
I see where you're going with that.
So
Okay.
are you saying I shouldn't go live around you then if you don't want to be a part of it?
Absolutely not.
None of this-
Absolutely not.
none of
no,
this is
we
personal.
fully support you on TikTok.
We want to be famous, Bryson, and we will ride off of your coattails.
Absolutely. We support Bryson the person and the brand.
She's saying that what you're doing isn't using your personhood to garner social interaction. You're using a brand to cultivate a certain kind of social interaction. For
But I would
example,
say I am using my personhood though.
but with 50 people watching as well. And that definitely changes the social dynamic, wouldn't you say? And that doesn't mean it's negative in any way. None of us feel negatively about that interaction.
I guess to each his own, not for me, to be honest.
Well, that's what she's saying. Like, for you, your brand and your personhood, you consider to be one and the same, and that's fair. But your brand is what's changing the social interaction, not your personhood. So it's not as if...
So you're saying the brand is changing the social interaction with the
Other
people
people.
outside?
even if you as a person aren't.
But how is that my fault?
That's not your fault
That's not my
per
fault
se,
at all,
but
yeah.
you can't deny that, like, in some way that means a brand is an aspect of your identity that
and
is
I wasn't-
different
and I
from
wasn't-
your personhood.
I feel like that's a pretty deep way of looking at that.
It's very, very like existential crises.
I would even say that's an
perspective.
unnecessarily deep way of looking at it,
Bryson.
Ooh.
Bryson.
to be honest.
Ooh. Okay,
all right.
speaking of Bryson the brand, if you don't put "To Be Honest" on a T-shirt and start selling that, I'm gonna be upset because I want
Tubi.
to be honest,
To
because
be
that's like your
honest?
thing. That's
To
what
be
you
honest.
say.
To be honest. You do say that a
Do
lot.
I probably do.
Put "To Be Honest" on a shirt and market it, because I would buy one.
To be honest, ellipses _, anything.
Underscore etc. the podcast.
To be honest,
Etc.
etc. The podcast.
That'd be fun.
Okay.
Okay. How do you feel about that, Kaylin? Like, he says,
I think we're
you
gonna.
guys are overcomplicating it. Like, who cares if there are 50 people watching? That's not different from a party, right? Is that what you're saying? Like, if you brought 10 of your friends to a party and you don't know those 10 friends, wouldn't you say that creates the same effect?
Absolutely not, because what you're doing is you're going live and you're trying to get support. So it all comes back down to you are broadcasting information, you're broadcasting yourself, and you're marketing. Even if you don't mean to, you are in a way marketing yourself. You're trying to market what you've established. You're trying to get a bigger platform.
I think well, the reason why I go live daily is because obviously we're trying to grow here.
Right.
So I think it's important that people who, because I'm not a fan of celebrities that, like, I want them to know who I am. So I go live to show people who I am.
Transparency, yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I want them to know what's going on in my life or whom I'm associating myself with and stuff like that.
You got to acknowledge that at some point there is going to be a person that's like, etc. Not really into that, but you know what? I
Then they're
fucking
not-
love Bryson.
Oh, well,
And I
then that's
fucking love
cool.
Bryson, and I will subscribe to Bryson's TikTok, but I might not necessarily subscribe to the channel. So if your TikTok was
That
created
is
out of
true.
creating support for the channel and for the podcast, you have to acknowledge at some point someone's going to be like, nah, this dude is just dope and I love him, but I'm not crazy about the podcast. I just want to subscribe to Bryson, the brand.
And that could happen.
Yeah, and I'm certain it does.
I'm sure that does happen.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that does happen.
How do you
But
feel about that?
I think it's okay. I think because in my mind, I still feel like we're gonna progress, and the key thing for me is progression.
Just
like in any little way, shape, or form. I know that this is gonna get better eventually. Things will grow. I don't look at things as like, oh, that's so bad, don't do this or do it. I look at it as like, okay, it's going to get better over time.
So to just clarify the argument, we're not discussing whether your actions are good or bad. All right, let's do a baseline for this. We have nothing but genuine happiness for your success. Your success is probably fucking, I mean, it's changed your life for sure. And it's
really
fucking amazing.
awesome.
It's amazing to watch your talents, like these talents we've known you've had
Yes.
for the whole time, knowing to see your dreams kind of blossom into something amazing.
Well, to go on Instagram and see drawings of your friend
that's
is
fucking
incredible.
amazing.
It's like, hey, I know that guy.
Once as a story, we went to LA once, and we were hanging out with one of Bryson's friends, and we went to this store because we didn't have swimsuits. Oh my god,
Or
that
underwear.
story
I needed
is so
underwear.
wild. Like his car got towed. Like it was fucking wild. We were
Man, that
planning
was a
on
lot.
being there for a couple hours, and we stayed for a couple days.
Man.
Not by choice.
Not by choice.
But we did have a swimming pool, and so we decided we needed swimming suits. So we were going into the store and going up the escalator, and this random chick goes up to me because she was trying to get Bryson's attention, and Bryson's too cool for that shit. So he went up the escalator. Plus, he's deaf as a bat. I don't fucking know. Anyway,
my mind is focused on underwear. I need underwear. That's why we went to
It really
Marshall's.
was. He just he walked right past this chick, and she's like, she just turns to me violently, and she like looks at me, and she's like, I know that guy. I follow him on TikTok. And I'm like, oh my God, we're in LA, miles away from fucking an hour and a half away from where we normally are. And it gave me an appreciation. Just like Bryson is exactly where he needs to be in terms of what he's doing, his passions. We've always known that you are capable of those things. What we're saying isn't anything negative. We're exploring the possibility of, we're kind of debating what it means to be a brand versus what it means to be a person, and whether or not they can be the same thing. And Kaylin's arguing, no, you can do both things at the same time, but they can never be the same thing. And you're saying, Bryson, I think, yes, you can.
Yeah.
So that's what we're discussing. We're not discussing good or bad. We're discussing whether or not they can in fact be the same thing. I have no say in this because I want to see you guys fight.
I know you brought up the Kim Kardashian thing.
Oh, yes. Okay, so I was talking about this earlier today with my brother and my boyfriend, and I was like, listen. When does a person go from being a person, an individual that you'd see at the supermarket and not really give a shit about, to an actual brand? We're like, oh my gosh, I have your stuff at home, or I subscribe to you, or I watch this, or I do that, or blah, 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 blah. So we were talking about, and a great example that we kind of came to uniformly is Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian is a brand. She, not only has her makeup brand, fragrances, whatever else she's doing, her lingerie, her whatever, but she's also, as a person, the brand. You watch her on reality TV, she goes, my diamond earrings smell in the ocean. And then, her sister was all like, people are dying, Kim. Like, they themselves have
serious.
No one can. But
They've
created a brand where you'll follow her on Instagram just to see what she's wearing out, or you'll follow her, to see what she's talking about.
Right.
I'm like, she herself is a brand. At no point, though, she's grown to such a capacity where at no point can she go to the store and just be Kim Kardashian. She will always be Kim Kardashian, where people are running up in swarms to take her picture, to meet her, to shake her hand, whatever. Even if it's just a grocery store run, at no point can she separate herself from her brand. That's how large she's grown. So I think in terms of discussing, can a person be an individual and a brand? Yes, you can be an individual and a brand, depending on where you fall on that bell curve.
But they're not the same thing. It's like, you can have a private life and you can be Bryson Smith.
Yeah.
And you can, fucking talk about the prostitutes you're drowning in, right? The constant cocaine parties you're a part of.
Right.
But if you were to go out as a brand, maybe that's not necessarily a facet of yourself you're willing to portray. And that's fine. Your personal life is your personal life, but you can't deny that now you have to package a certain part of yourself and portray it. And that's not a negative thing, but it just means that that's not the whole person, and you can never truly be the whole person if you're trying to be a brand. That's, I imagine.
I
what
think
you're
that's
arguing.
pretty fair. And
I think
What's the other
some,
side? Yeah.
truth to this. I'm not trying to be a brand though,
That's
but I
interesting.
do
Okay.
think that there is some truth. I'm just doing what I like to do. But I know when everything was going down with me and the whole Red and Monet situation.
Right.
So I got into some like internet beef with some other TikTokers. That was like a whole big thing with me.
He's
it was
that famous, guys.
It was really, really bad.
I didn't know about this, so I'm hearing about it for the first time.
I'm not gonna go that into deep because it's literally like a whole story. I would have to explain it step by step. But basically,
Where's the popcorn?
we're not friends anymore at all. And I find it interesting because at one point they were judging me based off. They felt like, not even they, one of them in particular felt like they knew me in some way. But I was like, you only have seen me on the internet. Like, it may not. It's really weird. Because I'm like, I don't know. They were judging just based off what they were seeing on the internet, but they didn't actually know me.
I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, and I was
It
talking.
seemed a little crazy.
I was talking to our friend Marissa, aka Scarlett, who's been on the show all the time. Yeah. She was talking to me about that too. She was like, "These people don't even know you. They literally just see what you put on the internet, and they don't know the actual you." I was like, "Yeah, that is true." I mean, and then you know, TikTok is like what? At most you could do 3-minute videos, but I don't even do that. So like literally 13-second videos, lives of me just talking about music or whatever it is I'm drinking. You know, there's a lot more layers to someone than that stuff. So I do know what you're saying.
More than that, in that particular case, they did no investigation. So, like, they were your friends, and they just used what internet presence you had as evidence, as opposed to directly talking to Bryson about it, which I think is pretty fucked up. But that is interesting. So, when you say, I'm not trying to be a brand, what is a brand to you?
What is a brand to me? I think examples of... I guess the Kim Kardashian brand is a good one. What's that? You guys remember that one guy from Nickelodeon? He also had a YouTube channel, the Fred character.
Oh.
That was a brand for sure. He's not that outside of that.
Yep. That's a great example, honestly. That is a really good example.
As a public opinion.
That is a brand for sure. He's not... When you see him in real life, he's not going to be like, hey, Fred, or whatever. It's going to be like, you know, like this. I would hate to be famous for something like that because it's so against my authentic self that you're literally putting on a character. And so when people see you, they see that character, which is why my whole thing has been just like, you know what? I'm just going to be me completely. That's why when you see me, it's like, oh yeah, that's Bryson. Hence my name on TikTok is It's Me Bryson.
Wait, Bryson,
up?
are you trying to say that you don't want to be famous for being a walking Snapchat filter?
That's not quite what he said.
What?
I mean, that's not fair.
When
He
you're
was
saying
born
you don't
walking.
want to be like
Snapchat
Fred.
He was born that way. You can't hold that against him.
Oh,
Brett-
sorry. Hydrocephaly is a
Stop it,
real
stop it.
problem.
What I'm saying is Brad is putting on a show. He's performing. Yes, I'm doing that too, but it's different in the way that I don't have to. How can I explain this?
You're not a character. You're yourself.
Thank you, Caitlin. Even though we're enemies right now, but thank you.
Frenemies.
Thank you, frenemies. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not putting on a character.
You guys are legit frenemies. By the way, in real life, they are frenemies.
Dude, she always attacks me. Like literally, she had a party. She had a party recently, and I didn't dress up as the theme.
Caitlin,
Only because I legit.
The theme was decades. He could have come at any decade. We had someone come as an 18th century settler. You could have come as anything. You could have come as the modern day, and you just were like,
I was a 1990s hipster,
Emily
okay?
was
like,
an 18th century settler.
Spanish settler.
That bitch didn't tell me. She was just like, oh, I just threw on something.
Yep.
I'm like, bull fucking shit.
Yep. She had her little water
bitch.
thing and everything. And then Bryson's over there sitting at my table. He's like, and I'm like, what are you supposed to mean? He's like,
It was his teenage self.
I didn't really
Stop
dress
it.
up, like
That's
I
not
didn't
how it went
have
down, by the way.
anything.
That's not how it went down. She attacked
I
me
didn't-
the whole night. She
I didn't
forced
have
me.
anything.
He was
This
in
woman-
straight up Mark Zuckerberg attire.
This woman forced
what
me
happened.
to drink alcohol.
Okay, Caitlin,
my
I will
gosh,
say that.
I'm so
No.
sorry.
No.
Okay,
For
well,
all of you out there.
force me to drink alcohol.
For
but
all of
she-
you out there.
very aggressive woman right here.
Right. So when we say she made us drink alcohol, we don't mean that, oh, she was like, hey guys, you need to drink. I'm saying that if this woman existed in the 1920s, she would be the scourge of the prohibition. She would be the poster child for why it is wrong to drink alcohol.
Why it's wrong?
Yeah, because
think-
you
Or why
make
it's fun.
everyone drink it. You create.
You never stop
like
me.
Henry
I
Ford
try to stop you.
on
And you
a
fail.
fucking assembly line. You assembly line alcoholics.
Okay,
That's
so
you,
here's an
Caitlin.
example, because I feel like this is coming off as I'm a conspiracy theorist
It's
and a
coming on.
rapist.
Okay.
No. I
Neither
am
of
not.
those things.
I am
Maybe you are a
neither-
rapist.
We don't know.
We haven't gone
That's
that far.
the thing.
Wait, what did she say?
No. Nay.
Okay.
I am neither of those things. I'm neither a conspiracy theorist nor a
Caitlin.
rapist.
Sure, Caitlin.
Mwah. With that said, how it normally goes down is, hey, I don't see you have a drink in your hand. Can I get you anything? And they're
No,
like,
and I say no.
Some
No.
old bullshit.
No,
It's
then they
not.
go,
That is
no, I don't want anything. I'm like, really?
bullshit.
I'm like, really? You're at a party? You don't have alcohol? Are you serious?
physically assaulted me when I was not
Javin,
consuming
you are
enough
100
alcohol.
pounds on a good day. It's not hard.
I am
The
100
wind
I'll have
assaults
you
you
know.
on the daily.
I'm 163 pounds. This woman is, I presume, between 5 to 10 pounds. And she,
Presume.
through the power of satanic forces,
Wow.
dragged me out of the couch by my ankles and
I did do that,
attempted
didn't I?
to pour alcohol down my throat with herself
No.
being far more inebriated than anyone else in the party. Point being,
The title is called Party God. Okay, I'm sorry you can't keep up with me. Not many people can.
she desired the seed of the Most High and fell. Anyway,
Okay, we kind of went way off.
Yeah.
But that-
Why
that
are we
just-
talking about me when we
that-
could be throwing Bryson under the bus?
That just goes to show you the type of energy that this woman puts off. That.
I want to know.
So
I
with-
want everyone in Etcetera, all the people that are a part of your harem of support. I want them to go to the thingies, the
what? The comments?
clickety clacks,
the
The
clicker
comments?
clackers. We
the
are
comments.
slightly inebriated,
Go.
by the way.
And this is just how I am. I've been called a Muppet. Go to the comments below and tell me, what kind of energy do I give off? Because they're telling
Really wanna
me,
know?
little old me, who's half their size, which is relevant, that they're scared of me,
I am
intimidated by my presence.
terrified.
Any
Definitely.
rational man alive should be.
That is a good answer. I appreciate that.
That is,
Any rational man, right?
your liver should quiver in fear.
I love it. If I had a podcast, it'd be called Chit Chat with Kit Kat, and there'd be a section that's like quivering livers or whatever you said. I just have you guys on.
We just be shit faced.
So
Shit face.
Incoherent. It'd be 3 minutes of just madness.
They're salty
right,
because
all right.
I can hold my own and they can't.
Point is, before we run out of time for the next section,
right.
Kaylin is an aggressive person when she's drinking, and that is the
And
context.
sober.
That's how this kind of got started. Actually, the whole
Literally.
brand thing got started because of what she said.
All right, and
She started it.
I
so-
did.
so
I'm
that
an
person-
instigator.
we're gonna dissect
That's-
that conversation
Yes.
piece
Yes.
by piece.
Okay,
Love
so
that movie. I actually really love that movie.
she
Sorry.
said instigator.
Instigator.
Keyword for toxic. I feel like I would
You
take that as
think-
toxic.
Sin.
Oh
An
my
instigator
gosh.
is
You surround
toxic.
yourself with
Okay.
toxic people, huh?
Oh, wait. We need to
Apparently
get
I do.
into this.
Apparently I do. I don't want to.
We need to get into this.
I don't
Am
want
I
to.
a toxic friend to you, Bryson? Bryson, look me in the eyes. Look me in the You won't even look at me.
It depends on what we're talking about. In terms of
In
like,
the context of our friendship and hanging out.
you're not toxic to my life, but you've been toxic to my liver.
Liver toxicity is separate. It's called fun.
Ooh.
To you.
Ooh.
to everyone.
Oh, boy.
And
Oh, my gosh.
I would like to make it known that I like to poke and prod and tease, but they also never say no.
I say no all the time.
You're like,
He
but it's always like,
deliberately and
no,
I
no,
say
no,
no. I
can't believe
no.
you just said
And then I will bring it to them, and they're like,
no, she forces people to
I
drink.
can't believe you both said you
Also,
never
she
say
said-
no,
and
and
I
then
think-
said, yeah, sure, you say
You guys,
no.
I want to emphasize on this, and I may have said this in the first section of the video, but she said I wasn't even a human.
She did.
She
I said, yeah.
this.
yes, I did. While he was live streaming, I did. I did, in fact, say, you are no longer a person.
Can we zoom in on my face right
We
here?
can. We have editors that can technically do that.
Yep. I said you were no longer a person while you were on your live stream, and I followed it up by saying you are currently your brand.
You are your brand.
And then you got very
I'm
passive
not a-
aggressive
I'm not a-
about it.
I did not get.
You
passive
so
aggressive
got
about it.
passive aggressive about it.
I was
and you're
like, I was said, Caitlin, what are you
guys.
talking about?
No, wait. Phone. Guys, can you even believe what she's saying
Oh
right
my
now?
gosh. You see what she's doing, you guys?
Great example.
all right. Give me your account of these
Yeah.
events, Bryson.
Give it to
Well,
us.
she said I wasn't a human. And I was like, oh my gosh, Caitlin, what are you talking about? I'm not a human. What? And you're like, yeah, you're not a human. Then the phone. So I was like, yo, did you guys hear that? And everyone was like, I can't believe she said that. One person said, I only thought this was in movies, but it really be your own friends. Wow. I was like, apparently so. Somebody said that.
Assault.
Then they were like,
But
one of my
yes.
friends was like, is she white? I was like, yes. She was like, I knew it. It was getting, I didn't read every comment just because I was like, oh.
Yep. So
Can confirm she is.
can
I can't.
confirm I am white.
And so I was like, Caitlin, why would you say that? And you're like, but you're not. Like, you're a brand. I was like, but I'm still human, though.
Yes. And I said that as well.
So
I don't know. I just felt, I just
So
thought
what
it was
happened
weird.
after
I
that?
thought it was
I'm
really
curious.
weird, the whole separating human from brand thing. I was like,
you don't think there's merit for that?
no, I'm a human being.
You are, sure.
So-
Like, what?
but your brand
To
isn't.
say I'm not a human is like to say I'm nothing.
your
that's a-
your brand isn't a human being though.
No. Okay. So
But what if I'm like, I am my brand?
Well, that's
if you okay?
debate here. That's
Every
what we're
every brand owner is
the
their
debate
brand.
here.
Every brand owner is their brand. And
Oh,
if
wait,
you
wait,
want to
hold on.
argue if a brand is a person, no, we're going there. If
Wait,
you
wait.
want to argue that a brand is a person, does that mean then a brand gets to vote in elections?
Hold up, this is funny. So,
No, they don't.
So
It
is
was
Jeff
federally ruled
is
that they
Jeff
can't.
Bezos not a human being?
Jeff Bezos is not a human being. Can confirm
He's a
that is
reptile.
factually true. He is not a human being.
he is a human being.
I just want. Well, I mean, that is a very loose definition, and he does not fit under that loose
He's a
definition.
human
in my
being
opinion.
minus the
You
humanity.
know what? Let me bring it back down.
He's a
Okay.
turtle man.
I know people have. I mean, there's so many different thoughts on billionaires and whatnot.
Actually, I'm sorry. To just add to what you're saying,
What's up?
this is 100% what we need to be talking about. Are billionaire? I feel like that will answer our question. Are
I know,
billionaires
okay.
humans? Go for it.
And I know that
Give
sounds
it.
entertaining to say, yes. Like my cousin was telling me once, she was like, billionaires are not humans. They're just different things. She was like, millionaires, they're humans, you know, they made it, but they're still in touch with reality. Once you become a billionaire, you're not, I don't know what you are.
Nobody truly knows what $1 billion looks like. When we talk about it on the news, like 1 billion people exist in
Okay, but-
whereverville. Nobody knows what that quantity actually looks like.
Okay, let me get another example. Okay, so
Billion people in
No, let's go with
That is
Will
enormous.
Smith.
I know.
Oh my God.
No,
Will
whereverville's huge.
Will Smith is a human being and a brand. He has an amazing, amazing personality. He's very charismatic. Everyone loves Will Smith.
How do you know that?
What do you mean?
You
how do I know?
only
You
know the
that through his
brand.
brand.
Through his brand, through his personality, through him. I would imagine he's
Maybe.
being him.
You don't
And
know.
honestly, you're right to some degree. I mean, he literally vlogs his whole life.
So
Obviously, no one actually knows him who doesn't actually know him. But I think it's safe to say that he definitely is a portion of what he portrays on the internet.
Yeah, he's not a person. That's fair.
no,
I
he's found
think-
marketable qualities about himself, and he's marketed them to the
And
public.
I know people who know Will
Branded him.
Smith.
So savage.
I know people who know Will Smith. No, I'm just playing.
Right, I was about to say, I'm like, there is no way
don't know.
you fucking.
Yeah, I don't.
I've known you, and you have never brought
Nah,
this up.
I don't know people who know
You
Will Smith.
bastard.
I don't.
but
But
But soon.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't know. Does Skrillex know Will Smith?
I don't know.
Well, he
I
knows
don't know.
Skrillex.
Yeah, I've met Skrillex. He's cool, very chill dude, super cool.
Please, okay.
Likes to party.
What's the music video?
That Skrillex and Sway Lee music video.
Okay,
I don't know.
look
what
up
song
that
it's
music
called.
video, and it's like, "Where's Waldo?" Try to find Bryson. It is so
I was in it,
fucking
though.
funny. It is so.
That's
funny.
awesome.
It's so. I have to show you. It's.
I
so
want to see
fucking
it. That's
funny.
amazing.
I was
He's
in it,
just
but I
smiling
was
and-
high key trying to not be in it though.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, because I was the only sober person. They'd keep telling me to go in the front, be in the front. Yeah, dude, right here in the
And
front.
you're just like,
I'm like,
frumpy dude in space. You're like, no.
Everyone's dancing and
Bro,
fucking rocking out.
everyone
and, like,
was
this
next
tiny
level.
little Bryson face just kind
I was
of
also
smiling at the camera.
Bryson's
There's a
normal
scene-
stoic, like,
There's a scene where everyone's eating pizza upside down. I was in that one
That
too.
was funny.
But
Oh, it's good.
that's cool.
yeah, anyways, yeah.
Highly
So
recommend.
the whole brand personality thing, you could be a brand and a human being. Like if Will Smith is a human being, you know, I would never say that he's not a human being just
We
because.
just don't know though. That's kind of what I mean. Like,
Okay, well, here's a good example. So bringing it full circle back to billionaires. Jeff Bezos is a billionaire. He donated a very, very, very stupid amount of money to the church that burnt down. Remember when that was going on? Yeah. He donated what was it? Only like $100 million or something really, like some minuscule dime bucket amount to this cause.
a chode amount.
But that was in the name of Jeff Bezos. But everyone associated it with Amazon. Amazon donated so much money to this cause.
Yeah.
So he has reached the point in his branding where he's synonymous
With Amazon.
with Amazon. You can't ever talk about Jeff Bezos, the person. You're always Jeff Bezos, Amazon.
And the reason for this is not unreasonable. It's because he is okay. So if I can self-insert, you guys have talked about yourselves enough. I'm a throw my
Get it.
thoughts in the ring. So I have philosophical thoughts on how to become a demon. I think there is a realistic path that you can take to become a demon. Step one is to eliminate your conscience completely.
Someone 5150 him.
Hold on,
He's
there's
having
something
a
I wanna-
meltdown.
There's something I want to say to that. So when you were talking about Jeff Bezos, he's Amazon. When people think
silent,
of
Javin.
when people think of Jeff Bezos, they think Amazon, which is true. But that's all that he's marketed himself to be. So when we start talking about like a Childish Gambino who makes music and no longer makes music anymore, but he also writes and produces, you know, like for example, Atlanta. No one thinks of Childish Gambino as just does music, but he
but
also
he's not
writes and does.
Childish Gambino when he's doing other forms of media.
Actually,
He's Donald Glover.
He's gotten rid of that name. He just goes by Donald Glover as a whole now.
Yeah, but like before when he was still doing music, he was Childish Gambino, music. Donald Glover, actor.
Well, and he does comedy.
Those
too.
are two different brands.
He's done comedy.
So those
too.
are
He does
three
a lot.
different brands.
But what I'm saying is, when you think of him, you can think of him in different aspects of that. Though he's not just he does this.
Yeah, but you
He's diversified his brand.
you pay money for all of them. Like, and not to say that a brand requires money or monetization, but I think it's somewhat unfair to say that the brand is a person, because while it has elements of personhood, like for example in your brand, you are your brand. You essentially perform the same things you would in every day, and people like to see it. But with Donald Glover, what's his favorite color? Like, does he
don't
like
know.
horses? We don't know, and nor
You could
will
ask
we
him.
ever know. But we also know certain intimate parts of his life for large swaths of his life, and he profits off of them. So he's dedicated an aspect of his personhood to his brand.
Right.
So wouldn't you say he's in some way sacrificed some of, maybe not essential parts of his humanity, but some parts of his humanity for his brand?
I don't think so. I think it depends the person. If he feels like he's sacrificing something, then yeah. But maybe he doesn't feel like he's sacrificing anything. I don't feel like I'm sacrificing anything when I show people what I'm doing.
I don't agree with that. But like, I just, you're saying, is that fair to say they're the same thing? Kind of like going back to the billionaires thing. The reason Jeff Bezos is not a human being is because, again, I'm just going to self-insert the demons thing. He's eliminated his conscience. He's become people obsessed, meaning he is very oriented towards people's desires, motivations, etc. And his primary goal, is to profit off of people's, let's say, greed or people's exploitable weaknesses. Consumerism. Demons literally do that. And the next step is to literally just turn it into a brand. It's not hard to become a demon. Every corporation ever follows these steps. You eliminate your conscience, become people obsessed, exploit human weakness, maximize your utility, turn it into a brand. Jeff Bezos has done this and thus is not a human being. He is a demon, formally. And you are not a demon. However, you are taking steps, and I'm not saying you're on track to become a demon yet. Anyone has the choice, Bryson. I'm not going to take that away from you. You can be a demon if you want. I support you all the way. The point is, you have to take steps to support either your brand or your personal life. And Caitlin's arguing these have to be in some way separate, right? And you're arguing maybe not. And so I'm curious how you justify that.
Dangerous.
Well, for one, I'm not a billionaire.
Yet.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine myself being a billionaire. But even if I don't even know what that's like. I don't even know the steps required to be a billionaire. I literally don't.
Blood of the innocent.
From what I know, I mean, from what I've gathered, billionaires, there's something that they're doing is crooked for them to obtain that amount of money. It's never legal, from what I've gathered, to become a billionaire. But that's kind of offensive, though. You don't think saying Jeff Bezos isn't a human?
Jeff Bezos could be Santa Claus.
He technically is. But you
and
can't say that he
deliberately
hasn't.
chooses not to, by the way, just as a choice, not as there's no constraints. He just chooses not to. I don't know a human alive that wouldn't choose to be Santa Claus. I just don't know.
Apparently, he would be one of them.
Apparently, a turtle man would not want to be Santa Claus, and I think that's fair. You know what? Turtle men shouldn't be Santa Claus. Fuck that guy.
So, how do we want to end this conversation? I'm not even end this conversation, but like, what are we gonna come to? Because I still think that Caitlin's firm on what she thinks. And I'm just sort of firm.
I liked how lively this discussion was, though. There was a lot of great information that got thrown out there.
Yeah. Yes, Caitlin. Yes.
A little alcohol.
Well, I was going to say, now we know Javin's, crazy and the conspiracy theorist.
We already knew that. Well, I did.
It was confirmed today.
There's no conspiracy. He's just he took the appropriate steps to become a demon.
That's exactly what a conspiracy theorist would say.
There's no conspiracy. He made a spiritual choice of his own accord, and he's allowed. He's an American. He's an American citizen, and no one can deny that. But he's not a human.
If you could just really quick just go aliens. That would really put a bow on it.
I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens.
Yes.
You did it.
That was beautiful.
Anything for the masses.
So yes.
So I actually want to close this off with a final kind of point.
Okay.
Between you two.
Let's hear it. I'm ready.
Does the disconnect from human and brand, if it exists at all, undermine authenticity?
What do you mean?
Can you be a person and a brand? And let's just say, for the sake of argument, that you can't be both at the same time, that they're not the same thing. Just for sake of argument, not disagreeing with your points. But even if that's true, does that undermine the authenticity of who you are as a person and as a brand? Thoughts? Throw them out.
I feel like we see a lot of people do that, though. Even with Will Smith being one of them. I mean, he has cameras on him all the time. His stuff gets out all the time. We all seen the whole what was it, the Will Smith and the Jada Pinkett, the August Alsina thing. Did you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like all his stuff is out there. He has pretty much, I'm sure he has a private life, but most of his life is on camera, and it's been on camera since the 90s. But you do see aspects of who he is, of course. And so I feel like we do see people that are their authentic selves, that are also brands at the same time. But I would never say that they're not human beings. I would just say that they're just being themselves and presenting it to the world. Yeah.
I think it's entirely possible to exist as an authentic individual and an authentic brand. Like, I don't feel like the two can't coexist simultaneously. I think like the argument that you're not a human is kind of being misconstrued as like you're not a person. You're literally not a person. You're subhuman or something like that. It's not.
That's how I was taking it.
It's not. No. And it's not. It's not that. It's the fact that a brand is not a person. So when you, the individual behind the brand, make an action that supports your brand, you are acting on behalf of the brand, not the person. You are no longer acting as a person. You are acting as a brand. Therefore, the whole debacle over personhood versus brand.
Sure, yeah.
But in that, I guess my closing thoughts are: yes, you can completely exist simultaneously as a brand. That's authentic to your morals, your values, your goals, your mission statement, and an authentic individual.
So,
okay.
to kind of, since you are both, right? Would you deny that you're both a brand and a human?
No.
Yeah. How do you maintain
You would be a brand and a human too, though.
One day, hopefully.
You're doing it. The podcast and you.
One day, I hope to be a demon like Jeff Bezos. I hope to one day drink the blood of innocent children for breakfast. I just, you know what? He's an inspiration for me. How do you maintain that authenticity? What is the appropriate? Because I feel like it is easy to actually lose parts of your humanity by trying to support your brand.
I think it can be easy for some people to lose their authentic self, but
how would you plan to maintain that?
not someone like me. I literally tell people this all the time. Like,
He's
I
built
could
different.
literally be a millionaire or a billionaire and be the exact same person I am right now. There is no way that stuff can change me.
Well,
Because
why?
I'm already,
Yeah.
I'm so true to myself, and I don't know. I would never. It's just not me. And if I am being like that, it's literally a joke.
Okay, so you never do something that you felt wasn't true.
Authentic to me. Yeah.
What is authentic to you? What does that look like?
This. This.
Just
That's
open,
awesome.
honest communication. What about you, Caitlin? What would you say is a good way to try to maintain your authenticity as a person, even in spite of your growing brand?
You know, when I go out in public and people say, "Hey, you're kind of like a Muppet," I just embrace it, okay? I know I
you
laugh
and the
like
Muppet.
Kermit the Frog. I know I'm very animate. Yep, that's a
Muppet,
great
man.
example. I've done it like 4 million times today. No, you just embrace it and you just, keep trucking. I think Bryson's a great example and a great testament of being authentic and true to yourself. And I think he does that really well through his brand on Instagram. So,
How sweet.
yeah, I think, I obviously don't exist really online, but, I'm my Muppety self in public. And
Yeah.
High five.
woo!
That's all that matters.
She'll get on there. One day you're going to be famous for something.
I'm going to be famous for getting run over by a celebrity. That's what's going to happen. I almost got run over by... Yeah, I almost got run over by Gary Oldman. I was like, holy shit, it's Gary
Really?
Oldman. Yeah.
You almost got run over
almost
by
got
Gary Oldman.
Yeah,
Did
he
he say
went
sorry?
right through a crosswalk. Nope, he just beeped his horn at me. I was like, fuck you, Gary. And then I walked.
How dare he do... Fun fact, my friend just went to his comedy show the other day, too.
Gary Oldman?
Yeah.
Gary Oldman does comedy?
Gary Oldman?
Oh, wait, no, I'm tripping. I'm thinking of... There's another one.
Mark.
Nah, what's the name of the white boy? What's his name? It's...
Javin?
No. There's a... It must be...
comedy
We're
show's
talking
not
about
till
another... We're
next
talking
year.
about another person, but they have... His name is Gary as well. So that's what I was thinking.
Oh,
like, is it
Gary.
him? Yeah.
Huh.
Different person.
Sudeikis?
My bad.
Oh.
No.
Sudeikis?
I don't know.
No, Gary Oldman is Commissioner Gordon. I got almost run over by Commissioner Gordon because he doesn't know how crosswalks work.
Okay.
And Dracula.
And Dracula.
And a dwarf.
I almost got T-boned by Larry King.
Wait, what happened?
I was going through an intersection in Beverly Hills and he did not see me and I almost got T-boned by Larry King. Celebrities try to kill me. I don't know.
Celebrities are
sorry to
allowed
hear
to
that.
kill people. Caitlin's just one of the many examples.
They get away with murder because people love them.
They support the brand.
Caitlin.
But
Okay.
Bryson is genuinely authentic.
Yes.
I know him probably to some extent.
Probably.
We talk on occasion. And He's always been pretty just consistent through and through. And even if he can't talk about everything he wants to talk about online, and even if he doesn't want to, that doesn't mean that he's inauthentic. It just means there are parts of himself that he keeps private. For example, I don't know the last woman he fucked. I don't know her. I don't know her, and he won't tell me because he's a selfish bastard, and he's authentic.
But why do you?
That's so a weird thing to want to know, Jabba.
That's what I'm saying. No one just gives out that, like, yo,
I'm scoop.
No one just gives, yo, like, I'm sleeping with her, and her. Like,
every single person
that is so
I know,
lame to me.
Every single person I know would willingly tell me the last person that they fucked if we're any kind of friend, and I guess we just aren't that close yet. That's fine.
But we are. But it's
who
just
was yours?
You guys aren't my friends yet. So
no, I was
no.
I was gonna say something to what you said about sharing parts of your life on the internet. So I'm at the point where I actually don't even do that anymore. Like certain conversations I won't bring up because I don't feel like they're necessary to bring up.
Right.
And I don't want people to put in their 2 cents on them. So yes, I had to learn to do that through experience.
Which is just normal. Like that's not a brand thing per se. That's just pretty human. See, Jeff Bezos doesn't do that. He doesn't have a personal life. He's just he's amorphous entity until he has to feed off of the souls of the innocent.
He's the blob.
He's the blob.
He's the blob.
He's the thing. And he does a remarkable job. I mean, we've all just got it. Round of applause for Jeff Bezos.
Or not.
What? You don't like Jeff? What?
I mean, I'll buy from Amazon, but I'll also like give him a dirty look while I'm doing it.
Yeah, and he'll just
like
take his child skull chalice.
Yep.
And he'll be like, "That Caitlin."
And I'll be like, "That's
she doesn't
dope.
like me enough."
Adding it to the cart, but I don't like you. Check out. Pay.
Check out. Pay.
Drink from my own child skull chalice while giving you a dirty look.
And he'll wipe his tears with poor people's money, just like, oh
that also looks like something. Add to cart.
He'll get syphilis just to cure it for fun.
Literally.
It's just turned into a bash session. All right. So I'm genuinely curious what you guys think, because we all interact with brands and we all interact with people all the time, and I'm curious what you guys think the intersectionality is. Where do you think the person ends and the brand begins? Subscribe, like, comment, argue, violently fight, and we'll see you next time.